Hi, I'm Shane Phillips, the Chief Executive Officer of the Phillips Group, and I'm here at the Hakama Corporate Governance event in Dubai with Mr. Simon Osborne, the Chief Executive Officer of the ICSA, the Corporate Governance Institute. Welcome, Simon.
How do you do?
Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I guess, what do you think is a key quality for a board director or any board director?
For me, it's the H word, humility. Because directors have to accept they are constantly learning, they don't know it all. And although in the past there was a tendency for directors to say, I've served on several boards and no one can tell me anything about governance and running a board, nothing could be further from the truth. People like that are dangerous. And I think humility is a cardinal quality, because a humble director will be prepared to ask questions about things they don't understand. I think it's very interesting, listening to your previous interview with Vanessa Fisk. She said she'll...
Eastham Fisk.
Yeah, she asks questions about which people, which may seem silly questions, but she's not afraid or ashamed of doing so. Men aren't like that. Men will pretend they know and understand something under discussion when actually they don't. And they're hanging on to every word in the hope that the penny might drop, and then they will have greater understanding than they did have. Women won't play silly men's games, and I think the presence of more women on boards is to be fostered and encouraged. I think they display a greater degree of humility, and I think as a general quality for all directors, whether they're executive or non-executive, humility is fundamental.
Why do you think it's important for boards to go and seek out qualified, certified board directors? Is that necessary?
Yes, up to a point. I mean, I could give you, by way of example, what the US attorney said to the jury in the main trial of Enron executives, former Enron executives in Houston, Texas, and he made the point that if ordinary members of the public serving on a jury could see what was going wrong, then why couldn't these well-qualified people do it? There again, I think that given the assets, including human assets, for which a board is ultimately responsible, I think it behoves the board to ensure that it has fit and proper persons who can competently serve as directors. And that means, I'm not suggesting you need too many accountants. I think you need people with technological skills, people with HR skills. You need a good array of people. And I think the other trick we're missing is we don't use enough younger people. I think the average age of boards, I don't know what it's like here in the Emirates, but in the UK, the average age of board directors is rising. And by the time you start to get north of 55, 60, there's a risk your mental arteries are going to start hardening. Young people do tremendous things. They have a different perspective on life, and I think they bring needed qualities and outlooks from which boards can only benefit. Increasingly, companies' customers are technology savvy. Boards, older boards aren't. And I think we need to encourage more younger people onto boards in order to produce that lovely diversity that all boards benefit from if they embrace diversity. Not just gender, but age, social background, education, ethnic, the entire spectrum of diversity. But above all, there is this concern that people should know should understand what they're doing on a board.
Right. Well, Simon, I know you're on the clock and you have to be on the stage shortly, so I just want to thank you for making an effort to come and join us.
No, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thanks.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.